I haven't seen hardly any content on the internet around this furler because it's so old. It's the most robust and it's the most potentially durable furler that we've found, because most of the other ones on the market have slowly started using more and more plastic parts to make them cheaper, which makes them break more often. So we're gonna open this up and nerd out about it a little bit while we try to figure out how it's supposed to be assembled so that we can assemble it later when we put our mast up.
Oh. Make room for you.
Watch your head. Coming down. Let's talk about it. Another thing we need to complete before we can put our mast up is installing our new furlers, or at least unboxing and making sure we have everything we need. So our head sail wraps up around a foil so that we can store that head sail on the front of our boat, so it's easily accessible, it's easily deployable, it's easily reefable. It makes handling the head sail super, super easy, which we use all the time to sail in and out of places and control the speed of our boat. We had one that came with the boat. It was probably the same age as the boat, and we rebuilt it when we first got the boat, and then we rebuilt it again, and then we rebuilt it again. So it worked, but now it's time to do a new furler as well.
Yeah.
So we've done a bunch of research and we've looked at a bunch of different furler options, and we've been to a bunch of different boat shows. And I can say quite safely that we're really excited to install this one.
You guys already know we have so many Schaefer gear on board. We love every single thing we have on board with Schaefer.
It's just built super, super solid. I think I'll have to check the dates, but they've been building this exact same furler for a very long time. Before the internet was a thing, before YouTube was a thing, they were building this exact furler. And one of the main reasons why we decided to go with this one over everything else is because this furler is aluminum and stainless and has basically zero plastic parts, and none of the aluminum touches any of the stainless. It's all isolated. So it's the most robust and it's the most potentially durable furler that we've found, because most of the other ones on the market have slowly started using more and more plastic parts to make them cheaper, which makes them break more often. So this thing's a tank. I haven't seen hardly any content on the internet around this furler because it's so old and because everyone wants new and fancy and shiny. So we're gonna open this up and nerd out about it a little bit while we try to figure out how it's supposed to be assembled, to make sure we understand how it's supposed to be assembled so that we can assemble it later when we put our mast up.
So this is gonna be a proper unboxing video. I don't think we've ever done an actual unboxing video. Should it be ASMR?
Do I need to get an outrageously big knife to cut that one piece of tape?
Should I hold my microphone? Should we talk like this and be like, okay, so this is
Cardboard.
Anyway.
Plastic.
Vogue. Wait, no, that's not the same thing. The system that we went with is the 2100 furler system.
They make three, I think, a small, medium, and large. We went medium. Large is too large, small is too small. We went Goldilocks and went with just right. So we're gonna unbox this thing and see it for the first time. Should we open that first?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Should I put this down?
No, oh, is it gonna fall if you leave it there?
I'll do it this way.
There we go. Cannonball.
All right. I have a knife. Oh, I'm not even gonna need a knife.
We don't need a knife.
All right, what do we got here? Instruction manual.
Oh, good thing I caught it.
That was nice.
I think I'm gonna hold on to that because we're gonna need
cardboard.
that. Throw that away too.
Top swivel. Oh my gosh! Look at the size of those bearings and the fact that they're not metal. They're some sort of composite. Look at the size of those things. They're like the size of a marble rather than the size of like a grain of rice. Okay.
So one thing that I can already tell, I love how smooth this is.
Oh my gosh, it's so smooth. I kind of wish we still had our old one. We got rid of it a long time ago. We knew we were going to be upgrading it just to compare, but it's completely isolated. There's like a big Teflon bushing in here so that this slides up and down. That says up, so this is the top. This is the part that gets attached to the sail.
We have one.
This is the beast. Look, it's spinning already.
Guys, look how, just look how smooth this is. You know what? I want to see how long it can spin for, and while I do that, we're gonna talk about the sponsor of this week's video, Incogni. Okay, are you ready? And three.
Wait, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. Ready?
3, 2, 1, spin. All right, so putting our lives online is part of what we do. We choose that. But what we don't choose is how much of that information gets picked up, copied, spread across dozens, sometimes hundreds of data brokers in the background. That's the part for us that feels a little bit out of control. That's where Incogni comes in. Incogni is an online service that goes out and find out where your personal data is being stored and it sends legal removal requests on your behalf. You provide the basic information that they need to do their jobs, and the rest is completely automated. They also have a custom removal option. So if you have a specific site that you know your data is stored in and you don't like it there, you can ask them to remove it for you, and then they will handle it directly with their team. I'm actually doing really good. This is not done yet. So if you want to take a bit of control back, you can head over to incogni.com/sellinguma and use the code sellinguma to get 60% off your annual plan. On that note, I'm done. Did I win?
You won.
I totally won. All right, let's get back to unboxing the Furler.
And this is a little parts box. Okay. Okay. We've got plastic like bushings, and we've got tools, and we've got tools, and we've got aluminum. These look like the connecting parts for the furler. That one's special for some reason because it's by itself. That's the sail feeder. That's for the halyard. We got a bunch of stainless steel rivets, some shackles.
That's for the top of the mast.
That looks like the cap. Yeah, probably at the very top.
Yeah. This is going to be very interesting because usually we do our research and we open everything up and we know what's in the box before we talk about it, so that we know what we're talking about. But this one's more like a first impression.
Do you want to pull out
type of
like
situation.
maybe just one of these and then count how many there are?
Ooh, so this is the, what'd you call this?
Foil? I'd call that the foil.
Yeah, full length foil. Oh, it's not that. There you
Okay.
go.
I'm going to leave the other ones in there because
And then
they're all the same.
well, there should be a half one and a smaller one in there somewhere.
Shit. I bet it's... Yeah, let's just take them
In
all out.
there.
Let's just take them all out.
We're taking it.
That's a good idea.
Let's move this here.
These are so smooth. Also, these foil extrusions are round because the whole point of a furler is to roll up your head sail, and rolling around something that's round is a lot easier than rolling around something that's oblong. Our old furler had an elliptical foil. Whew, these words. And so when the first couple of turns, it would go like flop, 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 flop to like start the roll, and then it got smoother. So these are round foil extrusions, so they should make rolling it up much smoother. How many do we need?
So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 in there. 7?
2, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know
And
what?
then a half foil, and then the bottom foil.
Here's one.
Oh, careful, there's a.
Screw. And
This looks
then
like it's a half.
the other one is in
Little,
here.
yeah.
And then this one was in the bottom, but it fell out earlier when I took the thing off. Okay.
And then that's the bottom one. Okay.
What are we looking at, boss?
We have all the pieces.
Okay. What are we looking at?
All right, so we have the bottom foil, which is the
short
small
guy.
one. The half foil.
That guy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full-length foils.
Excellent.
The lower drum assembly. Small parts kit.
Oh, the toggle was in the other box too.
This is the upper swivel. The stay lock fitting. I don't see that anywhere.
We don't have a stay lock on this one because
And then
Our
the
rig is
integral
different.
toggle link. That's the one.
That's the toggle link.
Okay. And then upper joint welded.
Is that
No,
the single
that's
one?
the one.
What's the difference?
There.
Oh, it's welded. It said welded.
It looks like these have drilling holes or rivet holes.
And then this,
These
that's
ones
welded.
don't have rivet holes.
Right. So that's the top. That's why it's in a separate bag.
Cool.
Well, that's smart. That's why there's a difference between that one and the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Here's all the parts.
this part I think makes the most sense to me already. These are going to be the little like connecting extrusions that go in between each foil length. And these are going to be the bushings that go on them and they go around our forestay. These have a directionality to them. There's a flat spot.
The flat side are on the same side oriented properly as shown. So basically,
So this is going to slide in to the end of each of these. And then this is going to go, yeah, that makes sense. This is going to go in it with that little flat spot facing, I guess, aft. When it goes around the cable, that'll probably be easier.
I love that this is a very hefty manual. Like it's not a QR code and it's not a one-page figure it out yourself.
It's the kind of thing
manual.
you can keep on board and you can reference it 10 years from now when you need to like...
It definitely gives you every single step of the way from step 1 to step... How many steps does that have? Oh, wait, there's multiple steps. So there's... Okay, there you go. Installation. Step 1 all the way to step 46.
Oh boy.
There's 46 steps to install this.
Yeah, so this goes this way and then this slides in here. And then those rivets go in there. And then the next one goes on, the next one goes... Okay, that part I kind of get.
I don't think we're going to install it... Well, we're going to install it directly on the mast. But,
Yeah, we'll actually do the install when we're putting our forestay up. I mainly want to know how this I get. It's just connecting them together. Like you put on the cable, slide it up, put on the cable, slide it up, rivet, rivet, rivet. I mainly want to know how this thing works because this is quite a bit different than what we had. The other cool part about this system and one of the reasons why we chose it is because previously our forestay was a fixed length and our furler was attached to our forestay and we couldn't change the rake of our mast at all, which was a problem for a while. We sort of fixed it in Norway by shortening our forestay. But this one has this big old beefy tube because somehow, which we're about to figure out, there's going to be a turnbuckle in here. So we can actually take this off or slide it out of the way, adjust the tension on our forestay and slide it back down again without disassembling the whole thing. So having a turnbuckle on our bow is going to be awesome because it means we'll actually be able to like fine tune our mast, which we couldn't do before.
Okay.
So we can kind of disassemble it a little bit.
It's kind of dress rehearsal situation.
Dress rehearsal is exactly the right word. So what are we doing?
All right, so step 3.
Step 3. That's more our style.
Okay, no, step 1 is if you already have your forestay.
Right.
So step 4, loosen the captain's screws on the stainless cage and remove them from the lower drum and torque tube assembly.
These.
So these, yeah.
I need probably that red T-handled one. Yeah.
So it says that the screws are captivated in the collars, so only needs to be loosened for removal. So that's
nice. You mean
nice.
when you have to, so this rotating piece of stainless on the bottom is the thing that holds all the rope in when we pull the sail out or pull it in. All the rope wraps up around the bottom. So if we can take this off and if those screws are captive, it means we can like clean up, like if the rope ever gets caught or fouled in the drum, which it has done before on our old one, we can take this off at sea. And if
without losing the nuts.
Yeah, I mean, our old one didn't even have this. We built a stainless thing for it at some point.
Or the screws more.
And then if these are captive, that means that when you take this off...
Oh, it still drops off.
But the hardware doesn't fall out of it. So when you're up on the bow...
Hopefully it's not like that when you need to take it off.
It's always like that when you need to take it off because it never
Hopefully
falls.
we're at anchor and we're just doing maintenance.
And it looks like all of this hardware already has Tef gel on it, which is amazing. It's something we've noticed on other Schaefer gear that we've installed, is anytime that there's like stainless touching aluminum or well, in this case, it's stainless on stainless. They already put Tef gel in the factory, which is fantastic. I like that that's captive because then you're not going to lose that bolt overboard when you're on the bow trying to work on this thing. That's super smart.
That's
okay.
really nice. All right.
There's a pin. Can I take the pin out? Sorry.
Remove the top and bottom plates from the drum assembly.
These.
Yeah. Okay.
So these screws.
Yes. There should be 4.
Yeah, I'll start with the top. Yep, Tef gel. That's so
What are
awesome.
all these holes for?
Probably just to let it breathe. There's going to be a hole. This one says flush hole, so you can shove a hose in there and clean out the bearings because they're non-lubricated bearings, which means you just spray the salty grunk out of there every once in a while. I imagine these holes are just to breathe. I imagine these holes are to like tie your furling line up through to pin it before you start. Oh, that's cool. They're like a octagon? Hexagon is 6.
Octagon.
Octagon. Right.
It's
so that means that they, oh yeah, and that's an octagon. So they lock in there.
Okay.
That's cool. Okay, so
So
these
both
come
come
off.
out.
So far, if this was already assembled on our boat, all of this we could do with the forestay still attached to the boat.
But those screws are not captive.
No.
So you have to have a little bucket.
But this is the part you need to take off to fix a fouled line. This is the part you need to take off if you're going to be basically installing it. Which,
Okay.
once we install it, we'll never have to disassemble it like this again, unless there's like some major issue that we need to solve. But we shouldn't have to. Oh, that comes off super nice. Okay.
Now you take off there's 4 more screws,
These ones.
the flathead fasteners on the side of.
Flathead.
It says flathead, but
They need to
it's
update that shit. This is a Phillips head.
Phillips head.
Dear Schaefer.
Just like Sharpie it.
I'm curious when that manual was written, honestly. Like,
I wonder if it has a publishing date.
We're gonna have to find out when they started making
Oh,
this thing.
2011.
Oh, fancy.
Printed 7/1/2011.
Fancy. So sometime after 2011,
They
they made
switched their
Phillips head screws instead of
Phillips
flathead
heads, yeah.
screws. I like it.
I wish they were torque screws. These are
These
torque
are
screws.
security torques. So this is probably to disassemble the swivel housing and access the bearings. But they put those security ones on there to make sure you don't sort of accidentally pull that out and have all the bearings fall out.
Okay.
So if you really ever needed to actually disassemble this thing entirely, they give you that option, which is nice.
But then you have to have a specific.
But-
you can't do that accidentally.
Yeah, you can't do that accidentally by being like, oh, it's Phillips head. Yeah, this is going to be to access the bearing housing, and you could probably put the bearings in and take them out. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah, this is to load the bearings for sure. Because look, if you took this plate off, you'd have access to all the bearings you could just knock out, and then this would slide out. So that's how they isolate it. This is an aluminum housing, and this is a stainless steel swivel. But the only thing that's touching between the two are the bearings. There's no other surface that's touching. Cool. Okay.
All right.
I like
Next
that.
step is step 7. Loosen the
Oh.
4 captive Allen head fasteners at the top of the torque.
The torque top.
At the top of the torque tube. The screws are captive. Only need to be loosened.
I need a smaller one of these. Did they give a smaller one?
There's like a whole bag.
Yeah, I kind of want to get to the point where I understand how, like, we are going to be installing it. I think a dress rehearsal is exactly the right word we're looking for.
Yeah.
Kind of make sense of it all, and then it'll go much smoother when we actually need to install it, so we
Yeah.
don't fuck something up the first time. Okay, I took that off, and those are also captive. I'm jumping ahead, but I think
No, you're not.
I'm
This
starting
is
to
it?
understand this.
Now
I think that's about as disassembled as it needs to be, right?
I think
There's
so.
nothing left.
Now it's gonna be all the assemble part.
I kind of want to do from toggle to feeder, because after the feeder it's just this 10 more times and then the cap. But if we understand how the base works, then we'll have a much better understanding about how this is going to get installed.
Okay. So theoretically, you slide the lower swivel over the top cut end of the wire and
Right.
down to the integral toggle.
So it's
link.
assuming that we're keeping the turnbuckle on the bottom and we cut the top and we're sliding it down from the top. Right. But we're actually going to
Yeah.
be building it up from the bottom. But
So
that's
we-
fine.
right.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're
that's
just
fine.
gonna add this as a new piece.
Yeah. That's, I kind of get that. Okay.
And then we slide the torque tube over it,
And then,
and then we add the fasteners.
okay, so this one, the one that doesn't have anything, this is the short
But we're
piece
not
at the
there
bottom.
yet.
Yeah, the torque tube.
No, this is this.
Here is what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
we're here though.
Oh, excuse me.
We're here.
So this is the toggle that's eventually going to have a turnbuckle on it. And then our forestay is going to go that way.
And then this
So
goes.
this goes this way. And then this pin goes through here.
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
that's what this is for. That makes so much more sense now. Right, and then that's what gets attached to our chain
And then this
plate.
goes on top of that.
Right. Okay, and then the turnbuckle is going to be up here through there, and then this gets attached to the forestay. That's pretty. This gets reassembled here.
We'll do it twice just to get the bureau to overlay on top of this whole first time.
Well, honestly, it'd probably be good because once we have like a fuller understanding of how this all goes together,
It's like,
then reassembling it again, it's like training for Mars.
yeah, it's like learning how to assemble a gun.
Yeah.
You have to do it multiple times in order
This is
for it to
this
do
is my
something.
furler. There are others like it, but this one is mine. Without me, my furler is nothing. Without my furler, I am nothing. What movie is that from, Kika? What movie is that from, Kika?
It's not Top Gun, is it?
No. I don't think you've ever seen that movie.
I,
If I say the name,
is it
you'll recognize
the one where they say you can't handle the truth?
No. So then,
No.
it's from a Full Metal Jacket.
Oh right, yeah, I don't know. That movie.
Okay, then.
Okay,
This is
now
this bit, right?
we're not there
Yeah.
yet. You have to close this first.
Oh, but I just took it off.
You're jumping ahead.
Put it back on
See,
again.
this is why I read the manual. So that we go strategically in the right direction.
This is the one, the short
now,
one.
the short one
right?
is the bottom joint.
And the
yeah.
little holy holes go up. Yes.
Yes.
So then this slides down in here. Look, it even has like a little. Oh, see, I think
The drill, there's drilled holes that have to be aligned with the drill holes at the bottom foil.
See, I think I need to put it on first.
Wait, didn't say to put it on first.
Here. You put it on and then screw it together.
Oh yeah, replace the top spin with the torque tube, slide the bottom foil, and then tighten the fork out. Sorry, I missed a scratch what I said earlier.
Because this has to slide. Oh, that's so clean. And now this could theoretically be a little bit snugger.
So this doesn't slide down all the way. It only slides down to the first pin.
So that's why this is the stop pin, right? So this goes in. Oh, I made it a little bit too tight. So I get this is how this works. So this little stop pin, when it's in here, this little stop pin, the furler comes down to there, and then you tighten this up on top of it, right? Tighty, tighty, tight.
Yeah.
And then build the rest of it. But when it comes time to tension the turnbuckle, you loosen these. You take this stop pin out a little bit, or out all the way, and then you remove this pin at the bottom. And then theoretically,
And then when you slide it up,
so then this slides up and exposes the turnbuckle, and then slide, so you can tension the rig and then slide it back down without taking the whole thing off.
okay, that's kind of smart.
That's super smart. I understand now.
But we're
Okay.
not done.
No, but I can pull this apart because I get that part.
And then we put the
That's
metal
where this
one.
goes. On one of, can you grab one of those aluminum rail things? So this slides in, and it gets riveted there, and I bet it's the same length. I like it. And then the sail feeder slides in on top of that. And then the next foil slides in on top of that. And
right,
then we keep going.
Yeah, so you put the
Yeah.
that.
Let's just double check.
So these, oops. So these basically go in between, kind of like the joints in between each,
And then this slides on there.
right? That's what this is. Like you put
Oh, this is on upside down.
one in between and then you
Yes.
slide the other.
And then rivet it together. Exactly like that. Okay. And then this goes on here.
Something like that.
This is actually really simple. I'm glad we're doing a dress rehearsal, but I completely understand how this works now. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty.
Okay.
It's so pretty.
And then when you make it to the very, very end, does this go at the very end? Yeah.
That gets slid on at some point, and it comes down because that's what the sail gets attached to. So that part slides up and down with the sail. So at some point it goes on before we put the cap
But
on the
it
end.
goes over everything.
Yeah. But we could
Okay.
slide it on from the end if we want to.
Okay. And then this little metal hat.
Goes on at the very,
Oh,
very
there
end.
you go. Yeah. So step 22, we skipped ahead. After you assemble everything, you
Mm-hmm.
slide this,
Yep.
and it gives you a little up button.
So this comes down on the last one. Oh my God. Feel how
And
smooth
then-
that is.
And then on the last one, that's when you put the one that doesn't know.
The welded one.
Welded one.
This one.
Yeah.
You want to open it? At some point, we'll probably need to cut this to be the right length.
So.
And that's going to slide in
And stop.
Super. And that's going to also have a bushing inside of it.
On top of that, you cap it.
Oh my God, it's so pretty.
And then,
that's it. Have you felt how smooth this is? Stroke it.
Oh yeah.
It's
nice.
so smooth.
That's very nice. Is it gonna stay this smooth over time? Is it gonna get rough?
I assume it's gonna stay this smooth because it's round. The problem with our old one is that it was an oval.
Yeah.
And then this is all like, don't fuck it up, add the rope.
Yeah, they show you the angles to do it, the angles to not do it, the directions to do it, the directions to not do it. It's very...
That's all makes sense.
I mean, I'm not even a technical person per se, and I feel like I could figure it out eventually.
It says raising the sails. Attach the sheet to the clew of the sail. Attach the tack to the sail and the shackle and the lower drum. I'm really excited for that step because it means we're really going to be a sailboat again. I might tear up a little bit. All right, so this makes sense. I like this. This is easy. Yeah, this all makes a lot of sense.
Sweet.
Can I kind of reassemble it?
Well, we have to reassemble everything and then reassemble it in the actual mast.
Yeah. Dry run, complete.
Yeah. Cool. Well, all right. Well, then.
Let's put it back together.
That's it.
Clean.
How long did that take? From like
33 minutes.
33 minutes and 33 seconds.
So you want to grab the camera and we can just like, I'll put it together maybe, and then we can get some zoom ins of taking it back apart again. Yeah?